I knew I was dying as I lay on my couch in my living room late November 2013. It is terrifying, but in a strange way peaceful. I'm a farmer in the center of South Africa, close to a town called Heidelberg. I'm 45 years old, healthy, and love to farm. I was lying on my couch because I did not sleep for about a week because of the flu I had. And it is planting season, busy season. I would fall asleep and wake up with a jolt as if somebody shaked me to wake me up, hyperventilate for 20 seconds, and then I'm more or less okay. But I realized later on that I'm hanging on a cliff's edge with only my fingertips. Luckily, my wife Elmarie walked in about 3 o'clock in the morning, asking me why I'm still awake, and when she saw me, she realized something is really, really wrong. We rushed to our local hospital where our house doctor were waiting. I went from a normal hospital bed to ICU in 50 minutes. My heart was swollen twice its size. I was immediately put in isolation, and then the bad news came, one after the other. I could not understand it because I felt I was the healthiest patient in ICU. Dr. Pretorius, that was in charge of me, found the cause. I had the flu, and the day before it happened, I had pesticide that spilled all over my leg, and I did not realize that it went into my boots as well. So I washed it off my leg, but worked the entire day exposed to the poison. And the flu and the combination with the pesticide reduced my immunity to 0. And then that caused a thing called Staphylococcus aureus to attack me. And it only attacks either your heart or your lungs. And it attacked my heart. Test after test show that I have a weak heart. And I would not believe it until after an angiogram done by Dr. McGibbon. And he said that I would need a heart transplant. In 3 weeks' time, I came back to my farm, a very weak man that could hardly walk 100 meters to the farm gate. In February 2014, we went back to Dr. McGibbon to see if the heart recovered, but the prognosis was still the same. He suggested that we go and see Dr. Stanley. He specializes in pacemakers. We did just that. Dr. Stanley then suggested that we do an implant of a defibrillator pacemaker. He said that if the pacemaker is implanted, sometimes it's normally more or less a 10 to 15% chance the heart will recover, and the pacemaker will help it to pump full volume again. For the first time in 3 months, we had a glimpse of hope. But it was just until the quote for that device was rejected by my medical aid, FedHealth. The device cost about 180,000 Rand, and FedHealth are only prepared to pay 20,000. My wife and I was devastated. We do not have that kind of money. Dr. Stanley did everything to explain to FedHealth why we need the defibrillator and that it's life or death. But they did not budge. Then the miracle happened. My friend Schalblom phoned me after hearing the news. He's in a pharmaceutical business, and then found out what I need and told me not to worry. Well, that's easier said than done. 3 weeks before the scheduled operation, he called me, and when I picked up, he asked, "Do you believe? Do you believe?" I said, "Of course, Charles. I would not be alive if I do not believe." His words were, "You will not believe what happened." But it happened. He met an old colleague, and they were drinking coffee. He told her about me, and one of her colleagues came by, and she asked Charles to tell her about his friend with a heart problem. She was part of a company in South Africa called Biotronics that provide pacemakers. Although they are a big and respected company in Europe, they only started in South Africa. Then Lorena from Biotronics contacted me and said if I could convince Dr. Stanley to use Biotronics' device, they will give it to me at a 50% discount. That means more or less 90,000. Dr. Stanley agreed and we were on our way. But still, it is money we do not have. Charles said he will talk again to Lorena. And this is when Robbie, the MD of Biotronics, then came into the mix. And the Friday before the implant, Charles phoned me again asking, do you believe, Faan? And I said, yes, I do. Because everything that happened so far was a miracle. He said, well, you will not believe what I'm going to tell you now, but it is really happening. Robbie agreed to give the defibrillator for me for free. My wife and I cried every time we talked about it the entire weekend. On the day of the operation, the entire Biotronics team was by my side the entire time. Dr. Stanley did an amazing job implanting it. And when I was pushed out, he said, Faan, you know you are a blessed man. And I said, I know. He said, well, Biotronics blessed you with the first of its kind defibrillator, with the newest technology, and with a satellite monitor that is far more expensive than the one they originally promised. How amazing to be so blessed. 3 months after the implant, Dr. Stanley did a test and the heart pumped stronger. And 6 months later, my heart was pumping full volume. That is, 50% in each heart chamber, and I was on 15% before the implant. Elmarie and me got a second chance. Not a lot of people get that chance. It is now 4 years since it happened, and I can do most of the things I could do when I was still healthy because of the people and the company that were willing to walk the extra mile. I was given the second chance by my Lord Jesus Christ, who had mercy on me, and all the people that played their part. Charles, my good friend, that did not stop until he got me the device. Dr. Stanley, for always willing to walk the extra mile with all the fighting with my medical aid and the operation. For the Biotronics team, Robbie, Lorena, Louise, and Neldy, my angels. Thank you. Well, I'm on my way to operation with Dr. Lowe. So watch the space. I'm on my way with lots of amazing stories to tell with my friends and family, Biotronics.